Okay, so this is day 2 of our Pilates series 5. So again, our little focus on detox. So for yesterday and today, we're focusing on just making sure that we're drinking enough water. So they kind of say 8 glasses a day. For some people, that's a bit too much. So you might feel waterlogged. You can go down to 5 and 6 glasses, like whatever feels hydrating for you. And then obviously if you're sweating or doing cardio, you need more than that. So that's going to be our focus for these first 2 days. From tomorrow, I'm going to put this in the email. We're going to add something else to the routine. And that basically is a hot drink in the morning, which is made up of lemon, ginger, and then there's an option to put in honey because some people are vegan and they don't want to use honey. So you don't have to put in the honey, but that's really good for boosting the immune system. So honey has a lot of great immune boosting properties. And then there's an option to put in some cayenne pepper. I don't like the cayenne pepper just because I feel almost like it's too hot for my skin. So some people like the cayenne pepper because that's also really good for boosting metabolism, for example, as well. So it's a really good way to add to the detox. And it's part of what's called an alkalizing diet. So it makes your body a little bit more alkaline as opposed to acidic. And if you think about all the acidic foods that we have in our diets, oftentimes things like alcohol, coffee, black tea, certain foods give a lot of acidity to the bodies, and this helps to just kind of like balance the body out. So I'll put that into the email and I'll send it to everyone, and we're going to see if we can start adding that if you want to. Remember, guys, all of this is an option for you. So it's just an option for you to try it and see how your body reacts. Okay. And then physically, is everybody feeling okay today?
Yes.
Nothing we need to worry about? Okay, awesome. So then what you're going to need today is, again, just your mat. Because my hips are really tight, we're going to be sitting in a seated position, cross-legged. I'm going to be sitting up on top of my blocks. If you wanted a block or a pillow or a cushion to sit on, feel free to have that on hand for yourself. But it's not necessary unless you want to have it as a little bit of a prop. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to mute the background noise. And I will see you guys in an hour so we can answer any questions that you may have. And we're just going to start seated in a cross-legged position. And what I'd like you to do, and I'm going to do a mirror image of you. So you're going to pull your left foot in towards you first, so that your right leg is at the front. Get your knees and your feet and ankles nice and comfortable. Pull the flesh of your bum out the back so that you really feel that you're sitting up nice and high on your sit bones. And then put the palms facing down on your knees. And let's just do a little bit of a twisting of the spine, looking over the shoulder. Just to find a little bit of ease through your spine, neck and shoulders. Maybe do a little bit of a tilt from side to side. And then bring yourself to the center. Lengthen up through your spine and just find a place where you can sit with as much ease as possible. Get a little bit of length up along the back of your neck. And then start to close your eyes gently. If you feel uncomfortable closing your eyes, then just look down towards the floor and allow your gaze to soften. And we're going to breathe in and out through the nose. And just allow your breath to slow down gently without forcing it. Taking a little bit of a scan through your body. Allowing yourself to settle into this shape. Allowing your belly to soften slightly so that it can gently move with your breath. Soften your forehead, your cheekbones, your jaw, your lips, and your tongue. We're going to start a conscious breath cycle, counting from 1 to 10. So on your next inhale, just mentally count 1. And on the exhale, count 2. Inhale, count 3. And exhale, count 4. Continue counting all the way up to 10. And then returning to 1 and starting your pattern again. And if you notice yourself becoming distracted or your mind wandering, just gently draw yourself back, return to your counting. Stay with your breath. Wherever you are in your cycle, just allow yourself to finish, going up to 10. And then settle into a natural breath. Just allow yourself to stay in this space just for a few more moments. And just observe how your physical body feels. And if you could describe your physical body in one word, what would it be? Now take a moment to bring your awareness to your energy, your energetic body. And how do you feel mentally and emotionally today? And just observe yourself, allow it to be. And if you could describe your energy in one word, what would it be? Staying here for just a few more breaths. Start to visualize your physical body and your energetic body blurring. Allow them to merge together, allow them to blend. And taking one deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh. And let those descriptions that you just gave yourself to float away. Blink your eyes open, bring yourself back onto your mats. So you have your right leg in front, taking your left hand, placing it to the floor, either fingertips or flat hand. Bringing your right hand up and over. So we just do a long stretch over towards the side. Stay there for a moment. Turn your head so that you're looking down towards the ground, just to help release the side of your neck. We're going to take 3 breaths in and out here. And start to become aware of the right side of your body, the opening of your ribs, the stretching and expansion of your right lungs, the space around the right side of your heart. Taking one more breath in, and then breathing out as you come all the way back up. Placing that right hand lightly to the floor, bring your left hand around to the opposite knee, lift your spine up tall, and then start to look over your right shoulder as you just come into a very soft twist of the spine. So you're not forcing, you're not pulling, you're just allowing your body to lift and to spiral gently. And then slowly release all the way back to the center. Unfold that right leg all the way out to the side and just stay there for a moment. So your right leg is straight. Put your left hand to the floor. Press up onto your shin and reach that right arm all the way over. And we're going to hold it here for 3 breaths in and out. Decide where you would like to take your gaze. Would you like to look down? Do you want to look up? Keep reaching long through the fingertips, opening the entire right side body. And then on your next breath, just releasing yourself all the way down. If you're sitting on a block, you can aim yourself back onto the block. And now help yourself as you unfold your left leg out to the side. So you might just need to give your knees like a little bit of a wiggle. And then have your legs as straight as your flexibility allows. Toes pointing up. Put your fingertips behind you and just lift your spine up nice and tall. And we're just going to stay here for a few seconds, finding a little bit of a release through the insides of the thighs here. Finding a lift and an opening across the chest and across your heart. Taking one more breath in. And then just allow yourself to soften. And now you're going to bring your right leg in front of you first. And then you're going to bring your left leg all the way in. Settle here for a moment. Right hand to the floor. Coming all the way up and over, long stretch. And again, turn your head to look down, releasing the muscles around your neck. 3 breaths in and out. Finding that opening and that release along the left side body. Making sure for yourself that you still have both your bum bones connected to the ground. And on your next breath, bring your eye line to the front, slowly coming all the way up. Fingertips light to the ground. Right hand to the knee, lift up and coming into a gentle twist. And just observing, how does it feel on this side? How does it feel in comparison to the first side? Without judging, without forcing, without changing. It's just an opportunity to notice. And on your next breath, releasing softly towards the front. Help yourself unfold that left leg all the way out. Stay here for a moment. Right hand to the floor. Press up onto your shin, sweeping the arm all the way up as you come into stargazer. Decide where you're taking your gaze. Where does it feel good for you? Finding that long reach from the fingertips down the side of your body all the way towards the ankle and the foot. And then on your next breath, releasing all the way down. If you have a block, you can sit on the block or you can remove it. And then help yourself unfold that right leg. Maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle. Now you've got a choice. You can either put your hands behind your back to create that length, or if it feels pretty easy for you, bring your hands forward to the front. And if that feels easy, you might even want to start walking forward. But it's not about collapsing in on yourself. It's about opening up across the heart and just allowing yourself to just lean forward from the pelvis and from the hips. And again, we're just going to stay here for a moment. It's such a wonderful release for me, for the inner thighs. Notice on your own body where it's registering for you. And you might even notice that as you stay here for a little while, you can actually settle a little further into the stretch. Take one more breath in and out. And then walking yourself back up and place your hands behind your knees, bend your knees, bring them in front of you. So now I'm sitting on a block, so I'm just going to remove it. And you're just going to tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. Lift your feet off the ground and then close your eyes for a moment and bring your awareness to the back of your ribs. Noticing the back of your heart and the back of your lungs. Staying here for just a few more moments. And then on your next breath, releasing your feet all the way down and just take yourself onto all fours. Set up your wrists, middle finger pointing forward, spread the other fingers out. Knees in line with your hips as we move into a cat stretch. Start by curling the tail under so you feel that lift of the lower belly. Then the ribs, then you push away from your hands, and at the end of the movement, your head curls through. Reversing the sequence, reaching your tail out. Keeping the belly firm, even though you're giving it a little bit of a stretch here as you lift your eye line and heart. And again, move with your breath. And as I've said before, it's always lovely to close eyes to be able to feel the movement on your body and to just step away from what it looks like. Because what it looks like doesn't really matter. With eyes closed, it gives you an opportunity to really feel the movement traveling through your spine, to notice the rest of your body respond. Keep breathing. We're just going to do 2 more here. And we're going to do one last one. And then just return to center and pause here for a moment. Balance on your right hand, reach the left arm out to the side. Bringing that arm all the way through to thread the needle. Give yourself a prop under your head if you need. And then start to slide the right hand forward along the ground. If that puts too much pressure on your neck, then just bring your hand back onto the floor. And stay here for a moment. Opening up along the left shoulder blade maybe. Don't worry what your hips are doing as long as you feel that you're grounded, that you're balanced. Taking one more breath in, bringing that right hand onto the floor, come all the way up, reach the left arm out to the side so you have an opportunity to balance, and then bring the left hand down. Reach the right arm out to the side. Coming in to thread the needle on the other side. Settle yourself for a moment, and then you can slide the left hand forward if that feels appropriate for you today. So again, noticing the right shoulder blade. And this thread the needle is such an amazing stretch for the thoracic area. And that's the whole area for the lungs and for the heart. Bringing your left hand back to the ground. Come all the way up, reach the right arm out to the side, and then placing both hands firmly down. Tuck your toes under, and on your next breath, you're going to lift your knees just up off the ground and hold it right there. And we're just going to do a little bit of shifting of body weight forwards and backwards. And just notice when you shift your body weight, how it transfers the load into different areas of the body. So noticing how your legs, your quadriceps respond, your lower abs, noticing your upper body, the lats, latissimus dorsi. And let's just take one more time. And then settle all the way down, releasing your feet out. Stay here for a moment. Slide the right leg out. Lift that right leg up and then just stay here. Energy through your crown, energy through your foot. And I want you to see if you can step your right foot to the side of your right hand. And then take it back again. Same side. Right foot to the outside of your right hand. And just keep going at your own pace. And you might notice the more that you do this, that you start to free up the mobility in your hip. And you might be able to step your foot a little further each time. Let's take one more time. Step your right foot to the side and hold it there. You're going to walk your hands up onto the right leg. Now, if you need padding underneath the left knee, please feel free to do so. Lift your eye line, lengthen your spine, keep the right hand on the leg. Left hand lifts up, breathe in, and breathe out. And again, inhale, and exhale. Bring your awareness to the journey of your hand and arm through space. So don't just think about here's my arm up and here's my arm down. Think about that whole movement as you take your arm forward and down. One last time, lift it up, stay here for a moment, start looking up towards the sky, lift your heart. Now don't think of bending backwards, think of opening the front of your body. Stay with your breath, keeping your belly gently engaged to support you. And then on your next breath, releasing eye line, releasing your hand all the way down. Just the left hand goes to the floor. Now you're going to let your hips come a little bit forward, maybe a little bit backwards. And then bringing your hips a little bit forward, use your right hand on your right knee and start to spiral your spine. And if it's available to you, taking that right hand and reaching it up. We stay here for 3 breaths in and out. Energy through the right fingertips, energy down through the left hand, and both of those are coming from the heart space. One more breath in and out, and then release, bringing both hands down to the inside of that right leg. Move your hips a little bit to the side, and then sweep that right leg all the way back, and bringing the knee in. Take a moment to center yourself. Left leg extends back, lifting your leg up, Pause for a moment and really find the connection through your body, through your crown and back through your foot. And then step your foot to the outside of your left hand. And back again. And step. And back. Just taking a few more rounds. Help yourself if you need, but you might very well find that your mobility, your range improves the more that you do this. And we're going to take one more time, step to the outside and then hold it there. Taking your left hand to your knee, coming all the way up. Take a moment to find your balance. Put a pad under the knee if you need. And then the right hand starts to travel. Breathing in. And breathing out. And again. And release. And we can take the most simple of movements. And if you are conscious of what you're doing, and if you're conscious of your breath and your body moving through space, it changes how it registers on your body and in your mind. Let's just take one more time, reaching your arm up. Stay here for a moment. Start lifting your gaze, lifting up through your heart, and think about opening your front body as opposed to bending backwards. Taking one more breath in, and on your next exhale, release. Bringing it all the way down, put your right hand onto the mat, and then just let your hips move. Maybe you need to adjust the position of your foot and knee. Bring your hip a little bit forward, and then help yourself into a gentle twist. Left arm reaches up, looking upwards. Find the opposition of your right hand rooting, left hand reaching, and then opening from your heart. Taking one more breath in and out. And release, placing both hands onto the mat. Move your body weight a little bit to the right. Stretch the left leg all the way back. Pause for a moment, and then bringing that knee all the way in. Open your knees wide, big toes together. Settle back into a resting position. Head towards the floor. And on this first one, just allow your elbows to bend and let your arms be completely relaxed. If you need to put a bolster anywhere on your body as a prop, offer that to yourself. And taking just a moment in this resting position to feel how the breath releases into the lower back. Notice how your breath softens and releases the hips, the pelvic floor, down into the pelvis. Taking one more breath in. And on your exhale, draw yourself all the way up onto all fours. Get yourself centered. We're going to be going into a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up just a little bit. And then move your body weight back. Send your hips up and back. And then just stay here for a moment. So your knees are really bent. And you can bring your focus to your arms and your spine for a moment. Think of your thumb and forefinger really connecting to the ground. Relax your neck and feel your shoulders gently rolling outwards. And then you can start to pedal the heels down. Feeling that release maybe along the bottoms of the feet, the Achilles tendons, the calf muscles. Push both heels down towards the ground. And it doesn't matter if your legs are bent or straight. Bring your awareness to your upper body and your spine. Then allow your legs to go where they need to. Pick up your right leg, not too high. And you're going to just simply step that foot forward between your hands. Help yourself as much as you need. And then come up onto the tips of your fingertips here. Lengthen your spine as much as you can. And let's start shifting a little bit backwards and a little bit forwards. If you can straighten your leg, go for it. If not, take yourself to your full stretch. Now, as you do this movement, we're trying to keep the shoulders and the pelvis as squared to the ground as possible. So what really helps me is I think about pulling my right thigh bone backwards into the socket when I do this. Otherwise, my hip likes to lift. And we're going to take just one more time. And now bend that front knee, stay here for a moment. Put your left hand firmly to the ground, right hand to the knee. And once again, coming into that gentle twist. Now you can stay here, but an option is to reach the right hand up. It's a little bit of a test of balance. Bring your awareness to your heart, reaching up through the right fingertips and your heart pressing down into the floor through the left hand. Take one more breath in and out, and then release, bringing your hands flat down. Push into your hands and see if you can step the right leg all the way back. So you're coming into a plank pose here for a moment. Let your knees hinge down and let your knees hinge up. And again, hinge the knees down and up. One more time. Lower the knees, stay here. Release your feet out. Round your spine. Pushing away from your hands, and we're just going to do 5 little trampolining movements here. One more. And coming forward. Push your hips through, squeeze your bum, lift your heart, lift your eye line. So it's a little bit of an extension of the spine. You have to use your abs and your bum. Push out of the arms, tuck your chin in, round your upper back, round your lower back, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, and make any adjustments you need to your position so that you can come once again into your downward facing dog. Pedal the heels down. And then push both heels towards the ground. Stay for a moment. Lengthening the arms, rooting the thumb and the index finger. Rolling the shoulders outwards, relax your neck. Create a little bit more length up through the spine, through the sacrum. And now pick up the left leg just a little bit. And then bring that foot forward and see if you can step it between your hands. Help yourself as much as you need to. And then come up onto the tips of the fingers. And then lengthen the spine. Let's start to move backwards and forwards. Use your breath. Keeping shoulders and pelvis squared to the ground. And again, what works for me, maybe it works for you, is that I think about pulling the top of my left thigh bone backwards into the hip socket as I press back. Last one. And release. Put your right hand flat. Balance yourself as your left hand comes to your knee. Lengthen the spine and coming into a gentle twist. And then an option is to reach up through that left hand. 3 breaths in and out. Find the opposition through the hands. Reach through your crown and back through your heel. On your next breath, release, putting both hands flat down. And now see if you can step the left leg back. Plank pose. Hinge the knees down and up. Down and up. One more. Down, stay there. Release the feet. Round your spine. Sit back, 5 little trampolinings. And notice where this is registering on your body. So today I'm not even feeling it in my lower back. I'm so aware of my shoulders and my upper back. And then come forward. Push your hips through. Squeeze your bum. Lift your heart. You've got to keep the lower belly firm. Lift your gaze, pushing out of the arms. So you're in a little bit of extension of the spine here. Tuck your chin, round your upper back, round your lower back. And this time, just open your knees, big toes together. And now sit back, letting your head rest to the ground. And if you can, walk your hands forward so that you straighten your elbows as much as possible. And you're going to feel a little bit more of a release along the side of the body and around the shoulder joint itself. And then if you're feeling pretty good here, maybe you want to do a little bit of a rolling action from side to side. Don't force it, just allow yourself to explore the range. And come to the center, taking one more breath in and out. Starting to walk your hands just a little bit towards your knees. And then rolling your spine all the way up. We're going to sit in a figure of 4. So I'm going to turn to face you. I'm doing mirror image again. Right shin to the front, left shin to the back. So we started this movement yesterday, and we're going to do a little add-on today. So we're doing our seaweed from side to side. So you might have noticed with a lot of the movements where they're registering on your body, I'm doing a lot of heart openers and a lot of hip openers today. And now bringing your right hand over to the floor, left hand reaches overhead, and then let's just do a little twist of the upper body, putting both hands to the ground, make any adjustments you need, and then square your shoulders to your hands. Close your eyes and just stay here for 3 breaths in and out. And with your hands and your shoulders facing one direction and with your knees facing the other direction, what do your hips, your pelvis, your spine, your head need to do to find balance? Open your eyes and let's start a gentle extension of the spine, lifting your heart and lifting your gaze. And then let's round the spine, flexion of the spine. And as you round back, notice that your head and your pelvis move with you. And you can decide what breathing feels best for you here. For myself, I inhale as I arch, and I exhale as I curl. Notice the areas of ease. Where does your body naturally want to go? Where does it feel good? And then notice the areas where perhaps there's a little bit of resistance, where maybe you just have to add a little bit of breath to allow yourself to travel a bit deeper. Last one. Come back to the center. Pause here for a moment. Move your right hand to the middle of the mat. Pick up your left hand and take a little peek underneath. And then lifting all the way up. Bringing that left foot around to the front. So you're going to be sitting cross-legged again. Taking your hands just in front of you and start to fold forward. So make sure that you're as comfortable as possible through your hips, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. And then as you let your body just settle forward, you might feel a little bit of a stretch around the hips. We're going to stay here for about 20 seconds. Just giving yourself an opportunity to surrender here. Let gravity and your breath draw you a little deeper. Taking one more inhale and exhale. And then make your way back up into a seated position. And you're going to keep that left leg in front. Just give yourself a bit of space so that you can now bring that right leg out towards the side, coming into your mermaid seat or your figure of four. And let's start a little bit of seaweed from side to side. And what's lovely about this position is that one hip is internally rotated and the other hip is externally rotated. So it's a really great way to make sure that we're keeping mobility around our pelvis and hips, but also a chance for us to just observe what's happening with our bodies as we move here. Now putting your left hand to the floor, right hand reaches, and then let's add that little twist. So you're going to place both hands to the mat, separate them slightly, square your shoulders to your hands, and then close your eyes. Stay here for a moment, noticing how your body has responded to this shape. And when you're ready, start to extend the spine, lifting heart, lifting gaze, and then curl back. And it's quite nice if you almost do like a little push and a pull with your hands. So you're almost not having to use your muscles around your spine. You're simply creating mobility, and your hands can help you do a lot of the work here. And start small, and then based on how it's feeling, you can decide if you want to go a little bit bigger or not. Connect your breath. Taking one more. Settle just in the center, moving your left hand to the middle of the mat. Pick up your right hand and take a little peek underneath. And then coming all the way upright, moving your right foot around to the front. So you're going to be sitting cross-legged, taking your hands, placing them in front of you, and then just let yourself come forward. And listen, if you're here and you're feeling a stretch, then fine, you stay there. You can decide how far you want to take it. But just remember, it's not about hurting yourself. It's not about creating pain. You might feel a little bit of discomfort, but as long as you can breathe, then that's fine. Softening into the back of your neck. Observing how the stretch feels on this side. allowing yourself to surrender, melt a little deeper. And then on your next breath, start bringing yourself all the way back up, sitting upright, and then just help yourself as you bring your legs together. I'm going to turn sideways, and you're going to have your knees bent slightly apart, taking your hands to the fronts of your knees, using your arms to help you sit up nice and tall. And then on your breath, just curl back. You can decide how far you want to go. Maybe you can straighten the elbows, or maybe that's a bit too far for you. And then bend the elbows, pull forward, and lift up nice and tall. And again, draw the tail under. Feeling the stretch across the mid-back. Draw forward. Lift up tall. One more time. Curl back. Pause for a moment. Bend your elbows. And lifting up nice and tall, bringing both arms out. On your breath, curl back, and this time you're not using your arms to help you, so you might not be able to go back as far. You'll probably feel more loading into the abdominals. And then forward, lift up tall, curl back. Can you allow the back of your body to soften into this movement? Forward and tall. One more time. Draw back. Pause here for a moment. And now this time, let's go all the way down onto the floor. If you need to use your hands to help you, do so. Let your arms settle and stay here just for a moment. Walk the feet a little bit closer in. So you're going to still have your knees and feet slightly apart. Arms down beside you, palms down or palms up, doesn't matter. And we're going to go up into a pelvic curl. On your breath, let's start with a little tilt of the hips. Rolling up. Coming up just into a bridge where you can really feel that the gluteals are supporting you here. You shouldn't be taking any weight loading into the lower back. And then ripple down through your spine. Feel that imprint, feel that articulation, and release at the bottom. And we're going to do that again. Tilting the hips. A little bit of a squeeze into the bum cheeks. Now stay here. Start to push your pelvis up a little bit higher. And I want you to stop at a point where you feel that your lower back is working but not taking strain. So just feel a little bit of workload into the lower back. And then release down slowly, placing yourself deliberately to the ground and releasing at the bottom. So we're adding some extension of the spine here. Let's go again. Tilting hips. Just coming up to that point where you can feel the gluteals working. Pause here for a moment. And then pushing your hips up a little bit higher until you feel a little bit of workload into the lower back. Now you can stay here, or you can start lifting up even a little bit higher and almost get the feeling that you're going to push your sternum or your heart towards your chin. So now you're going to feel a little bit of work into the thoracic area of the spine. And then release your chest away from your chin, releasing your body down gently. So just taking yourself to a range where it feels okay for you. We're going to do one more time. Take a breath. Small tilt of the hips. First coming up just to where the gluteals are connecting. Pause for a moment. Press your hips up just a little bit higher. Feel how the lower back is working a little bit. And then Pressing your heart towards your chin, just feeling a little bit of extension into the thoracic spine. And stay here for a moment and see if you can relax the back of your neck, your shoulders, and your head to the ground. So you're not holding tension through the neck. Stay for just one more breath in, and then let yourself melt down. Feeling that little release into the lower back, and stay here for a moment. Bringing one knee towards your chest, bringing the other knee in to join it, and then once again, just rocking gently from side to side. And you're going to keep your legs as they are. Take your hands down, palms down, and take them a little bit wider than your mat so they're in a low V. You should really feel almost like your kidneys are getting stretched down into the mat and your lower abs are really working. Start to open your right knee just halfway to the side, and then let your left knee come over to join it. Keep the left shoulder down. You're not actually taking your legs to the floor. You're just going into a little bit of a twist, and what you should feel here is quite a bit of work into the abdominals, lower abs and obliques. And then bring your left knee back to the center, and then bring your right knee back to the center to join it. Now, take your left knee halfway to the side, not too far. Keep that knee suspended in the air, and now bring your right knee over to meet it. Keep that right shoulder down. Stay for a moment, legs together, knees tucked in tight, obliques are working, bringing your right knee back to the center, and then bringing your left knee to join it. Now we're just going to keep doing that, and you can start to speed it up if you want. You can start to make the movement a little bit bigger, but this is not about dropping to the side and just resting there. This is about working into the abdominals and into the core. And also, because we have the knees quite tight to the chest, this is actually a compression at the hip. And anytime we're doing a compression at any of the major joints of the body, there's a fantastic after effect of increasing circulation to that area. And this in particular has a great effect on our digestive system because it works on the large colon. So the ascending, the transverse, and then the descending colon. So this is all great for our detox. And bring the knees to the center. Let's do one more time. Keeping the abdominals connected. Make sure that you're breathing. Give yourself an opportunity to really feel the connections. And bringing yourself all the way back to the center. Place one foot down, place the other foot down, stretch your legs out long. I just need to move back a little bit. And then literally just allow your legs to flop and palms facing up. You can close your eyes if you wish. And notice the circulation, the energy moving up and down your legs, up to your hips and your pelvis, and perhaps up into your abdomen. Taking just a few deep breaths in and out. Just allow your belly to soften so you can feel it respond to your inhale. And then opening your eyes, blinking. Bring your legs right next to each other. Bring your hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to do one roll up into sitting. Lift your head, look forward. And on your breath, curl up. You're going to grab either your knees, your shins, your ankles, whatever you can, and just allow yourself to stretch all the way over. Take a nice easy breath in. And then exhale, unravel your spine, lifting all the way up and tall. And now come into a seated position just as we did at the beginning. And it doesn't matter if you've got your right leg in front or your left leg in front. Just allow yourself to sit in the most comfortable position. I'm going to put a block underneath my pelvis again. And I want you to bring your hands just out to the side with your palms facing up. You're going to bring your left arm, I'm doing mirror image, underneath so that your right elbow is on top. And you can stay here if you want to. If you can, start to bring the backs of the hands towards each other. That might be where you stop. Or if you're super duper flexible, you might be able to link the hands together. But please don't force it, because remember, the shoulder sockets can be a bit vulnerable, especially if they're tight around the rotator cuff or if you've got any kind of shoulder issues. Find a little bit of length up along the back of your neck. And then just start to turn your head softly from side to side. And release. Unwind your arms, bringing them all the way out to the side, palms facing up. And now this time, bringing your right elbow under, left elbow on top. Doesn't matter if you've switched it, by the way, as long as you do the opposite side. And then see if you can bring the backs of the hands together, or maybe you can find a little bit of a bind. Settle into it for a moment, lengthen along the back of your neck, and then once again, turn your head gently from side to side. So these are called eagle arms. Fantastic stretch for the backs of the shoulders, up into the neck. Come to the center, release, bringing your arms all the way out. And now we're going to do something called seagull wings. So now you're going to take the back of your hand and just put it on either side of your waist, but like let your hand almost like get a bit of a stretch backwards. So you're at the wrist as opposed to on the fingers. And then just allow your arms to settle here. And for a lot of people that maybe have tension along the back of the wrist, this can be quite an intense stretch. And now you're going into a little bit of internal rotation. If this feels like nothing for you, like if it's really easy, then why don't you try bringing your hands up a little bit higher, maybe around the sides of your ribs or up towards your armpits. That's too much for me. Holy smokes, I'm going back down here. And these are now called seagull wings. And just giving your arms a little bit of a release, your hands a little release. Take a breath in. And then slowly ease your way out of it. Bring your hands up onto your knees. Do any wiggles, adjustments that you need. And then allow your eyes to close. Soften your gaze if you prefer. And once again, just coming back into your breath, and we're going to do a single round of counting from 1 to 10 with our breath. Breathe in your own time, don't rush. If you have finished, then just allow yourself to return to a natural breath. Taking a moment as you sit here to become aware of your physical body. You could describe your physical body in one word. What would it be? Bringing your awareness to your energy. Noticing how you feel emotionally, mentally. And if you could describe your energetic body in one word, what would it be? Observe any shift that has taken place over the last hour. And using your breath as a thread, start to merge your physical body with your energetic body, allowing your two descriptions to blend. And taking a lovely deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. Just allow your hands to come up, placing the palms together, rubbing your hands together lightly, feeling the warmth, feeling the heat, and then reaching both hands all the way up. And then exhale, reaching the arms wide, create a little bit of space for yourself. Rolling your shoulders back and around. Fabulous job, guys. Let me just turn on the sound, see if anybody's got any questions. All right. I see your doggy joined you there, Katrina.
She kept putting the ball in my lap. She wants me to throw.
Oh, sweet. She was so happy to have somebody on the floor with her. Awesome, guys. How did you feel with that?
It was great.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
really good.
Fantastic. So you can see I'm adding on a little bit each time. So we've taken the breath work. We've always focused on the physical aspects of the breath. And we're starting to add a little bit of consciousness to it, just a little awareness of the mindfulness. I'm just going to continue building onto that because I think it just gives a completely different dimension and quality to our movements when we have access to that as well. Okay.
That knee side to side with the knees pulled in is quite difficult, huh?
It is. It is. Yeah, definitely. And as well, you know, as soon as you add that compression of the hips, so you really connect to the lower abdominals and the obliques, because also if you're flexible, like I know you are, your knees will just happily flop to the side and you can lie there and stretch, right? And so now actually pulling yourself back as well. So it's a lovely one for building strength.
It's good. I enjoyed that one. I thought it was really good. Good class. Enjoyed it.
Wonderful. And everybody felt again with seagull arms? It's like a hectic one for me. I don't know why.
I was fine with that one.
Were you okay with that? Everyone else?
No,
was okay?
I could do that.
Were you fine with that, Fina?
I was fine with that. The one that I can't do is to put the weight on the one hand, lift up, and the arm over. I can't do that. I can't. It's too much on my shoulders.
Absolutely. But you know what? So that's called the stargazer. And
Yes.
when you do that, if it's too much on your wrist, then literally all you have to do is this. So this is a lovely modification. You just put your forearm down and you're still getting that whole stretch. So at any point, if you feel like your wrists are killing you, then rather just put the forearm down and do the reach.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Okay, so water. And then I'm going to email you guys.
Hot water, cold water.
I know. I should have actually mentioned that. So I don't drink cold water. Apparently, I mean, I don't know much about Chinese medicine or Ayurveda or anything, but a lot of them actually say if you drink cold water, it's almost like you give your body like an internal shock, you know, because it's not body temperature. So I actually just drink like room
Tap
temperature.
water.
Thank you for reminding me. I'll make a little note of that as well. And then we're going to start adding a glass of hot lemon ginger honey. And I'm going to give you guys the recipe with the options of what you can put in. We're going to do that each morning as an option, see how it feels for you. But it's very, very good for your immune system and metabolism and alkalizing the body as well. All right.
So there's no class, you said tomorrow, but there isn't one tomorrow, is there?
No, there is. So,
oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll send everybody an email.